is the RIOT Podcast. This is a special edition of The Worst of the RIOT. This is very exciting. Isaia joining me, as well as Jeff and Cullen from Ohio, Mount Vernon, Ohio. These guys donated to us during the fall fundraiser, during our RIOT Rendezvous giveaway contest, and they were the winners. So they're coming to us live from a barbecue restaurant. Looks like you guys got your food.
Yeah, we do. Were you guys able to get barbecue today?
We did. Yeah, we've already actually plowed through a little bit of it, but
we were so hungry we couldn't help it. There was city barbecue just sitting in front of us, and I was like, I have to eat some of this.
We're eating Roadhog Willies.
Yeah, Cullen told us we were looking at the website. It's even though I'm sitting here with City Barbecue right beside me, the Roadhog Willies is also very tempting.
It does look really good. I know, I'm looking at like the pictures and whatnot.
It's
like
fantastic. He makes all of his own sauces.
Oh,
dang,
yeah.
that's the best.
A little different feel from City Barbecue. A little more homey feel.
Yeah, that's the best kind of. I mean, City Barbecue is good, but there's nothing like a roadside roadhouse.
Yeah.
I think the best barbecue place I've ever been was a place attached to a gas station. So that's the way to
That's
go.
how you know it's good barbecue.
They got the big smokers outside underneath they got like a tent set up, and all the smokers are outside.
Oh,
yeah.
So even before you come in, it's hitting you.
You
can smell
You
it,
can smell
yeah.
it all around town.
You're like
I love
sitting
it.
in your car and you can smell it. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
While I'm
All right.
working, I smell nothing but a bunch of chemicals and then barbecue.
I was going to say, it's a hard place probably for you to work close to.
Oh, yeah.
You know what, guys? I'm just going to ask you. We're already recording, and we figured we'd just start recording right off the bat so that whenever we got started. Let me ask you guys. How did you get started with RadioU? Which one of you started listening first?
That's a very good question.
It's a great question.
So I don't know if this is right or not. So when RadioU first came out, I think it was a lot more metal. So I remember my nieces and nephews who are older than him. But I have brothers and sisters, and they're in the church. And so his older nieces and nephews were listening to it, and I'm like, yeah, maybe not such a huge fan of it. But then I'm a big time radio switcher. So I would say years ago, I'm listening to all different radio stations, and I had a job where I was in my car a lot. And I just switched radio stations, and I think a song was playing I liked, and I listened to it, and then I heard the DJs, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what, I can listen to this. I like this. So here's the battle. This is what I'm playing. We don't have to worry about a DJ going off on some weird tangent, saying something inappropriate for the most part. Except
For the most part.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Okay. Inappropriate, I should say.
Yeah.
Totally inappropriate. I mean,
There you go.
Hudson probably pushes the boundaries more than anybody. But so, yeah, there you go. So that's how we got onto it. Cullen stuck with it more than the others, although my son-in-law, my oldest daughter and son-in-law are big fans, listen to it. Other daughters, his sisters, occasionally listen to it or have to listen to it when they're in the car with me.
Just how we like it.
Yeah.
But now Cullen's younger brother, I think, who you met, Hudson, Declan,
Yeah.
and we've been fostering for 10 years, and he's
Wow.
A foster child that we've adopted.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, he's a huge fan, but he's 11. So yeah,
Yeah.
you guys have the coolest job in the world right now.
That's
He's
awesome.
11 and he's catching up on
Yeah.
shirt numbers with me. I'm getting jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is favorite RadioU bands for each of you throughout the years?
So
I gotta say the one that started it. There was a certain song, you may have heard of it, called Codename Raven.
Oh, that's a RadioU hit.
Yeah. I'd say to start out, my favorite bands had to have been Reliant K, and Berlin,
yeah.
House of Heroes. And those bands have really stick with me through the years, but constantly finding new people. We did I donated during the fundraiser.
Yes.
Specifically, I wait for the Throwback Thursday, because I know there's going to be there's all the throwback songs, and I'll go through and listen to them.
Of course.
And I'll be like, oh yeah, there's a Flyleaf. I remember this song. There's some Skillet songs on here. And then I'll hear like Silverline. I'm like, I completely forgot about this band.
Yeah.
And now I listen to them every day because
I like
as a kid, you can't just pull up Shazam and be like, oh, that's this song.
Yeah,
I had to wait for the radio announcer to be like, up next is coming this song by this band. Otherwise, I had no idea what song it was.
It was just a
looked up the
mystery.
lyrics, hoped it would come up.
2 years ago, I remember you looking at your Spotify. I think Andy Mineo was number one.
I was in the 0.1% of Andy Mineo's.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
That's a badge of honor, though, right
That
there.
is.
Well, you're talking my language, too, with Relient K, because we must have grown up. I mean, we have to be around the same age, because Relient K and Anne Berlin were two of my favorites. Relient K was my very first concert that I wanted to go to. I was like 7 years old.
Yeah, Run Kid Run. Remember Run Kid Run?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Run Kid Run. Also listen to them a lot.
So you guys mentioned, Cullen, you work right next door to, or right nearby anyways, the barbecue restaurant. What do you guys actually do for work, or what can you actually tell us?
For what I can tell you, we
Top
do
secret.
3D printing, also known as additive manufacturing, mostly in the aerospace industry. It's a really cool job. I got let go twice during the whole COVID thing, just because money funds weren't there. But, I think it says more about the fact that they took me back twice.
Nice. Yeah.
So I've been working here since straight out of high school, and I don't really plan on going anywhere because I can see this job going pretty far.
Aerospace. Did you say aerospace and 3D printing?
Yep.
Yep, but he can't say anything more because they probably
I cannot tell you any more than that.
Yeah. They probably have this place bugged too. So if he does say anything,
I have
like men in black coats
I
come
have
over here
a
and drag
physical
us out.
contract I can't show you. That says I cannot tell you any more than that.
That's craziness.
Yeah.
We thought our job was cool, and then he's doing like 3D space printing. Like, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Hey now, one's not cooler than the other. They're just different areas.
Yeah,
Which, by
exactly.
the way,
Different
my
areas
3D
are cool.
printers,
You're right.
I have a 3D printer. It's down again. I need you to come over and fix it.
I'm the tech support for everybody in the family.
Your
So-
little brother
Except
has
for my
to. Yes,
Yeah.
your little brother needs to start printing Christmas presents for people.
Yeah.
So do I.
So you actually have a 3D printer that you can just use for whatever, though?
Oh, I have.
Yes.
Wait, I was gonna say 4. That's a lie. I have 5 now.
And what do you what would you just print with a 3D printer?
You can print
I have no
anything.
idea about what,
Recently, I made a lightsaber.
We made a pretty cool light.
I made a lightsaber. I've made a lot of practical things. Something will break in the house.
So you're saying a lightsaber's not practical?
Oh no, that's a toy.
It's the first thing he made, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've made a lot of practical things. Something will break in the house, like curtain rod handles, and I'll just be like, "Oh, I could just print one," and so I did because I had an idea. I proved that I could do it, and I just went for it. And they've been hanging on the wall for a year and a half now. No problems.
Wow.
But at the
I
same
wish
time,
I
you can
was-
print toys. Like a lightsaber.
Yes, you can.
You could do something like a curtain rod or a lightsaber, something fun.
But it'd be so cool to just not have to, I don't have to run to Walmart. Let me just get the printer and fire that thing up.
pretty
That'd
I
be.
could go on Amazon and buy this gas cap for $4, or I could print it at home for 28 cents.
Yep.
Unlimited power.
Quicker and easier. I need to get a 3D printer.
You wouldn't know how to use it.
No, I wouldn't have any. I was going to say, I get frustrated enough with a regular printer. I don't think a 3D
You don't
printer
have to get
would
a
go well for
super
me.
hard to use one. You don't have to get one that you have to tinker with. Some of them do a lot of the work for you, and it's crazy. The technology has gotten so far, and there's tons of YouTube videos out there that'll tell you, like, hey, you want to buy a printer? Well, here's what you want to buy. If you want to do these things, it's just, in the past, even 10 years, it's gotten huge. Anybody can pretty much buy it and just print whatever you want.
Imagine what we could do.
Imagine what we could make. We'd never have to leave the RadioU station.
I wouldn't know where to start. I don't know if you saw, guys, but NayNay just popped in here a second ago. I don't know if you could see him on camera.
Name
So
sounds familiar.
I know you know NayNay. how well do you know him? How did you meet him? I imagine that, like, to me, the moment you meet NayNay, you remember it.
You'll never forget that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'd say we became good friends. I've known him for a while through another friend of ours that we share mutually. His name's Wyatt. But I got to know him well after we both came together during that friend's bachelor party. And then since then, at every opportunity where our paths cross, we hang out, talk about life and what's been going on. I especially get a lot of updates on his life now that he's on RadioU, and so I drive home and he's in my ears on my way home. So I'm constantly getting updates of what he's doing with his time.
Was he at your wedding?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Wow. What was NayNay on a wedding dance floor at a wedding reception like? I can't imagine.
I don't think he danced much.
No. So
That's the biggest. That's the most shocking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. I gotta say, we didn't mention this band, but the big wedding song that's been now at 2 different royal weddings that everybody goes out and dances to is Chainsaw by Family Force 5.
Yes.
It's if your family has a traditional song at their wedding, a lot of people have the chicken dance or something like that. No, the whole family hits the floor when Chainsaw comes on.
Yeah, we got the moves
awesome.
Chainsaw is objectively much cooler. So.
You look a lot cooler
And even at
doing
my age,
dancing the chainsaw.
I've seen Family Force 5 probably at least 4 times.
Oh, they're
In
fantastic.
concert. Just hysterical, taking the kids when they were little and then older, yeah.
Family Force 5 is always great. The hamster ball, the Hulk hands.
Yeah.
Always a good show.
The first time I saw them, I was like, they brought out, what was the name of their something 3000, whatever. It was like, so basically, it's like you go to church and you have a special singer and they're just singing to a tape. That is Family Force 5 for the most part. They're not playing any instruments.
That's right.
I mean, that's a lot of rock or rap artists now, but they were one of the first ones that, like, they named it something cool. It's like, yeah, we're not really going to play our instruments.
Yep.
Yeah,
We're just going to jump around the stage and have fun.
Around, they had exercise trampolines.
Yeah.
They went nuts with them.
Oh, yeah. We had to get the Hulk cans and spray paint them, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
times.
at least they're honest about it, and it allowed them to put on an amazing show. I miss those guys.
Yeah.
I think we can't finish this out without asking you guys if you have any questions for us.
Were you really born in Canada?
That's a good question.
Or it's like Canadian. Were you really? Did you live there for? I don't know. Parents in the military. You lived there for a month, so you claim it. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. That'd be a weird thing to lie about, right? I was actually born in Canada, but what you're getting at is partially true because I was less than a year old when we moved away. However, I still feel fine claiming it because most of my family, really all of my family except my siblings, were born in Canada. And so all my aunts and uncles and grandparents and my parents, and we would go there all the time. It's not like I left at a year old and never went back. I'm well versed in Canadian culture, even though I'm a transplant.
The Canadian roots still got a little bit of a grip on you.
Yep, that's right. That's right. And never let them go.
Yeah, my dad's brother. Yeah, he doesn't know, but yeah, the family back when I was little, we went to Canada a lot. We had a lot of family up there. So
really, what did you do? What part of Canada?
It had to be just northern Ontario, above Toronto. There's a little town called Maple Leaf, but I'm sure there's 100 towns called Maple Leaf.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the most popular Canadian
there,
town
but
name.
it's and my sister's family their family's from Canada. They still have a cabin up there, and I haven't been there in years, but they still have property up there on Lake Papineau.
Okay.
One of the glacier lakes up there. Yeah, those things are beautiful and crazy too. They're like 300 feet deep. The water's so cold.
Yeah.
Even in July.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't realize that. Well, I mean, I don't know. Some people ask what part of Canada, and it's like they expect to know you or whatever. But no, that's cool to find out that you guys have been up there a bunch.
Hey, last thing real quick. So we said we were House of Heroes fans, right?
Uh-huh.
They used to be in Columbus. They're all scattered now. Play once a year usually. So years and years ago, Cullen's older sister was an actress, and through her agency, they said, "Hey, we're looking for this company's looking for somebody. They just need somebody. Only pays $100, but they just need you to do a photo shoot. I think it's for an album or something like that." So anyway, we submitted my daughter's picture, and she ended up getting picked. And they got an email from this guy. I'm like, man, that name sounds familiar. But anyway, I hope you can see this. But this is the album cover, House of Heroes, their last album colors.
Yeah.
And the girl in the middle, yeah, that's my daughter, Cullen's sister.
Wow.
She's spending the day with Colin up there in Westerville. And if you open the album has like a whole, like all their albums have a theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it shows photo shoot different areas around Westerville.
So
with these two guys. Yeah.
she would have been, based off of that cover, she's Joni, right? Is that
she is. Yep. Yes, exactly. Yes, that's who she is. Exactly.
That's wild.
That's amazing.
She really doesn't do acting anymore. She's been in a bunch of like Walmart type movies. If you ever want to see Andy the Talking Hedgehog, she's Dean Cain's daughter in that. She's a cheerleader, so she doesn't do it anymore.
Get to work? Did she actually work with Dean Cain, or was that, if it was animated, did she never see him?
She got to work with him. She got to work with Richard Karn. He used to be on Home Improvement, and she's been in an extra in a lot. Problem is, not a lot of things shooting in Ohio.
Yeah, I guess
When
not.
she was young, she had her big break and could have been a signing and everything, but in reality, we were poor and had other kids, and we couldn't move to LA or Atlanta at the time.
You're telling me
So
that
we
people
didn't.
who live in the middle of nowhere are poor?
Yeah, well, no, no, but she's like, there was a kid that we know. We don't know him anymore, but I mean, he's been in the Wolverine movie and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. He was like in the same classes, talked to his parents all the time.
Dang.
They moved to LA, and he skyrocketed up.
You get the edge up there, yeah, when you move to LA.
Yeah, that's right. There's it seems to be.
Opportunities blossom.
It's still a numbers game and a gamble, but not too many people are coming from Columbus, Ohio, saying, "Hey, let's make you a star."
Yeah. That's still awesome, though.
She doesn't hold that against you, though, does she? She's like, if only you had taken us to L.A., things would be different.
No. She's more like, oh, why did we do this for 3 years? We would have done something else. Yeah, that's how you feel now.
Sheesh. That's amazing, though. This is why I was glad we got to do this, because I know we'd find out so much interesting stuff in just 20 minutes. That's really cool. Well, I think we'll let you guys go. We got to let Tyler get in here in the studio for us. So, but it was good to do this. Thanks so much for donating too. It was really cool to get to know you guys a little bit.